Unmute that. Can that work? There we go. There we go. I don't know where you're going. Neon dreams cast shadows in the dark. On here. Yeah. Now get some sound. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Alright, there we go. Alright. Now, we'll edit this out in post. You gonna follow me this time? Okay. Up here. Up, over. You're not going over far enough. How about like that? There you go. Yeah. How do I look? Okay. All right. Mr. Rogers scene, take 2. You're in the game. The win is in the obstacles overcame. Sometimes it seems. All right, I think that one was good. What do you think? I think we did it. We'll edit the rest of the stuff out. Oh shoot, somebody's watching. Sign in to chat. Why would I open? I can chat out loud. Down a little bit. Who's out there watching? Who's watching? Hey, where'd you go? Close this. Richardello, how's it going, man? Working in the shop. Thought I'd turn on the. I burned a hole when welding. That'll come in handy. What was I doing? We're working on. I hated working on monitors, but chalk one up for the good guys. Something out. So. Been having to build these monitors. They take 4 lately. Been trying to. The worst part is putting the vinyl on the plexi. Spray them down. I mean, you guys know what it's like. Had to spray these down with water, and then audio cutting in and out, too scratchy. Is it too high? Too high? Not close enough to my face? Is it better when it's close? Too high? Drop it down a little bit. How about that? That do a little better? That don't do any good having settings that won't do anything with settings. How about that? Test. I don't know. Yes, better. Cool. All right. So yeah, working on monitors. You guys know, having to spray water down on this stuff and then put a whole layer of vinyl on, try to work the stupid air bubbles out. been taking forever. But I had this what you call this? A laminator, cold laminator, lying out in the garage. It's my old one that I had that I was doing some stuff with until I got the bad boy automated one that has like a pedal and motors and stuff, and I can run my. This guy got in the shed and dust, pulled it out, and seconds. No bubbles, no nothing. Looking good. Time. The only problem is I forgot figured what anybody that didn't see that, swing over there and check that out. I'm assuming most people have probably seen it, given how I don't have a ton of people sub to me compared to Fox. But if you guys weren't aware, I'm sure you are sub to him, but if you weren't aware, go check him out. We talked a lot about cabs and cab building and future cab possibilities. All right, so I need to remember first before I get too excited again and throw this. We wanna label some of these. If I can remember how to do that. Got going on here. Some of these templates here, so that I can, if I can remember correctly, I didn't label these. This is, I believe, for horizontal or vertical. I think this one's for horizontal. I should just do them all the same. Make it less complicated. So we put this on here like that. I need to take this protective film off of here. What direction these go? How about there? There we go. Battery going dead on the mic, of course. Probably should have plugged that last time I used it, I guess, right? All right. Oh, Alien, how's it going? Getting ready to make some monitors. Something I was putting off for a very long time because they're kind of a pain in the butt. Everybody at work today? Where are you? One of these backwards logo long. That be the one. Open. All right. Today is the producer's birthday. My mom just texted me a little bit ago. Text said, "Don't forget, it's Kara's birthday." Not sure what that says about me. That my own mother has to wants to remind me that it's my wife's birthday, but I did remember though. So there's that. All right, so this is the handheld printer. And then got a little screen on it that shows me that. You press this little trigger button, gets it ready to print. Oh, not when it's flashing though. There we go. Now it's ready to print. So we got this little jig here so that we can line everything up. Hit print. Roll it down it. And we end up with that. So that is step one of plexiglass bezels. Step one of jumping into many steps. I got a bunch of these already set. Before you guys got here, it was slacking. So here's a monitor. Take those and put these little bracket bezels on the sides of them. Like so. But so we don't see all that behind them, to run it through the laminator to put a piece of holes. I don't remember. Are these all the same size? Are these square? That, and then we got that. These ones are square, so I don't have to worry about up and down. All I got to worry about is, how did I do that? So these ones got to go here. Horizontal ones got to go. They get more space. So we line that up. Pull the film off. this bad boy on here, line it up. Straight. I'm 100% sure this is how Arcade 1 does it too. Just a bunch of Chinese kids doing it. Sure, they don't have any fancy equipment and pumping these things out by the thousands. I kid, of course. All right, there we go. And then this one should fit, right? Did I do that right? I think so. This one, wait a second. How did we do that? I got to put it down. That's the problem, I think. I think. Hey, what happens when you don't do stuff for a while? Forget. What we got? Yes. Well, she's working too, so at least there's that, I guess. And then got to pick the boys up, or pick JoJo up from school. And then we have wrestling practice tonight. So it's kind of, we gave her birthday presents and stuff yesterday because we knew today we wouldn't be seeing much of her. But she is picking up Chinese on her way home, and we're going to have that for dinner. So usually we don't get home from wrestling until 7:30, 8 o'clock, and that's about the boys' bedtime. So there. How about that? That should do the trick. Yes. So now, what we got to do, keep doing a few more of these before I move all this stuff. And we'll run a few through. Taken me a little bit to get back in the groove after the holidays, and then had some medical testing and stuff on Saturday. And we came home to a snowstorm, a bunch of snowstorms while we were in Florida. We got about 20 inches of snow out there. And of course, my plow on my Bronco isn't working. So spent a few days trying to get that working. I got it working, then it wasn't working, then it was kind of working, and then it was foobarred. Blew my drain plug out with the threads and everything, all the threads from the hydraulics. So now I'm waiting on some bigger, larger size drain plugs so I can drill and tap it out, put those in, and hopefully be able to run it without any problems. And yeah, I got us half plowed out though, so there was that. And then we also had, I don't know if anybody's familiar with what an ice dam is. But because we were out of town and wasn't expecting the snowstorm, I didn't have we got a steel roof. I didn't have my electrical heating cables plugged in and ready to go. So all the snow up on our roof froze at the edge and created an ice dam, and the water started working its way back into the eaves and then into the house and down the walls. So I spent some more time busting up ice and trying to fix that and reduce any damage and flooding. And this is kind of how my life goes. So you guys when you get the updates on delays and things like that, I'm not really making up excuses per se. I just have terribly bad luck. You can't really make all this stuff up. And I feel bad because I gotta think at some point people are thinking I'm just making it up, making up excuses and things like that. But I'm getting back into the groove. But then tomorrow, that's another thing. So tomorrow, I don't have a full day to work either because I have to run to the dentist because over the weekend, my tooth broke. And we called around and it was getting extremely difficult to find anybody that was going to get me in. But we finally did find someone. And Tuesday, tomorrow, I got to run into the dentist and get a tooth fixed, maybe an emergency or a temporary crown or something until they can get it taken care of. But yeah, that is how, and that's not just like how things have been going. That's just I've learned to accept that that's just how my life is. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. I'm not complaining. Like I said, I've kind of just learned to accept it, live with it. I'm sure there are people out there that have it worse off than I do and worse luck. I'm making it by. Trials build character, right? Prince Vinny, how's it going, man? I am working on bezels today for monitors. So right now at the moment, I'm putting my logo on the plexi, getting ready to run it through the laminator to put black backing on. Then I got to trim all that out, put the holes in the plexi, and mount them to a bunch of the bezels that I have already made up. I think this is going to be my last one because I didn't really check the count on how many I need of which right now, but this will get me started. Still trying to get quarter deck and B Kirby's cabs out. So behind, guys. Wanted to have everybody's cabs out by Christmas. That's not going to happen now, but I've got like 7 of them on deck about to go out. Just got to finish up a few things and get them packed, and then we'll be ready to go. But only about 7. It's only going to get me about halfway through the first run orders. Really feel bad because I promised everybody at most 2 months. That was extremely high hope thinking, I guess. They had no idea how long this was all going to take, especially with the hiccups and issues that came up and stuff like that. Here we are, 5 months since pre-orders? I know it could be worse, and there's people that have been waiting on stuff for a year, 2 years, and stuff like that, but I don't want to do that to you guys. That's why I limited the pre-order runs and stuff to. I didn't want to be sitting on people's money. I appreciate that you guys trust me with it, and appreciate the patience that you guys have given me too. But I've been there. I've been somebody in the community that has pre-ordered things, and I've ordered plenty of crap off the internet. And sitting there wondering if this guy's a scam, if I'm ever going to get my product and stuff like that. Especially when you get past the windows of being able to charge back and things like that. But you never know with people. I personally, if somebody reaches out to me and wants a refund, I'll issue it because I mean most of your service providers that handle your credit card processing and stuff, they have stuff on your end to be able to issue refunds regardless of how long it's been. You just got to have that money in your account. But I don't want people to go through the headache. I don't want to refund if I don't have to because I want people to get their stuff and like it and be happy with me and not have a bad taste in their mouth and never get their product and be thinking, never wanting to come back either. But I will issue a refund. I got plenty. It's not like I don't have plenty of people backed up, lined up, wanting to fill that spot either. So it's not like I'll be out the money or stuck with the cab or anything. But just really want to make you guys happy. I enjoy helping people out, making people happy, hearing the good feedback and stuff. What am I doing now? Ah, yes. Let's move this out of the way for the minute. Then we got, so I cut this piece already. I'll cut some more in a minute, but this is kind of a matte black vinyl. We drop this on here. Now watch, I jinxed myself. I only did one of these and got super excited and happy because of the amount of time it will cut down. And it worked perfectly the first time. But watch, like, who knows what'll happen and end up with piles of bubbles in it the next 3 or 4 tries. Nailed it on the first try. Peel back some of this vinyl. Well, that reminds me, I still got Prince Vinny's monitor to do for him too. Didn't necessarily, but kind of forgot about it. I just had so much going on. It's on the shelf. Probably start getting at that the first of the year, buddy. All right. So now for the tricky part, or not so tricky. I put this in here, stick it in there. Bing, bang, boom. Bob's your uncle. There. Toss that to the side. Pull her out of there. And look at that. No bubbles. So excited. You don't realize how happy that makes me. Producer, she was home a little bit ago. She was trying to work from home, but she had to run into town. I don't remember why. Or maybe to pick up JoJo and to do some things, but she heard me out here. Hell hears me now too. He wants out here. All right, I'll let him out. But I don't like letting him out here when it's. Come on, buddy. Got the jet heater going in the back, and it's kind of cramped right now. Producer had to pull out all the Christmas decorations from under our mudroom house area in the garage where we store all that stuff. And so totes. Todd would love it. There's totes stacked up everywhere in my shipping area. Kind of got paths going on at the moment, so I was trying to keep Cal in the house just because of the limited space, but he heard me, I think, too. Dang it. Garr. Maybe that was just in the film. Let's hope. All right. So, I was extremely happy that this worked. Cut down on so much time. I didn't know I was going live either, Stock Jock. Just decided to turn the camera on because I was so happy that I got this to work. It was just kind of a thought I had while driving down to Florida on vacation, trying to think of how I could better quickly get these monitors working. Move faster through them because they have these and my the shipping have been two of the big bottlenecks in this cab building process. And like I've expressed before on the show and things, I really started to realize why Buy Stuff charges what they charge for their monitors. A bit of labor that goes into them. Components aren't super cheap. Monitors and stuff, especially with any in the 4x3 or 4x5 ratio, but I was trying to really cut you guys a break and deal and stuff when I first was doing them, and was basically adding them in there at cost and wasn't figuring in any time or labor. I really wanted to keep the costs of the cabs down a bit, and as people have kind of noticed, the prices went up a little bit since the second run. The price of Robotron has been adjusted for, even though it's coming soon. And that's a temporary adjustment for now. It could change, but only for would go down, I think. I didn't want anybody to have any more surprises and be like, right before I launch, make it cost more. And people be like, what the heck? So before we got too close to launching it, I increased the price a little bit. But when I do the final numbers and stuff like that of all the components, it may come down. But yeah, these really turned into something. Oh, no, we don't want that. Come on. What are you doing? We're going too fast? I think we're going too fast. I think we this one up. Getting too cocky. Maybe. I don't know. Come on. That'll take the dust off. Who's out there? Yeah, no problem. Prince Vinny. Let's see. Uh-huh. May need to adjust my Star Wars riser order. I have the BSA mini riser on it. Can add 2 inches to my order. I was kind of thinking that, Stock Jock. I was surprised you ordered the I think you ordered the standard sizes. I thought you'd go big. I think you went big on your previous orders. We can make that adjustment when we get there. Cut a few of these. We don't have to keep moving this. Yeah, I wasn't planning on going live, but I was excited about this, and I was doing some work rather than like packing, and thought this would be at least a little bit more entertaining to watch. Kinda? I don't know. I'm not sure I'd find this too entertaining to watch. Maybe if it was edited down and just quick clips and kind of showing you guys one example rather than having to just keep doing it, but kind of assembly line production type stuff. A little bit more efficient to do a bunch at one time rather than keep switching back and forth and build one at a time. Build a handful. Cuts down some of your time over a long period of time. And Fox kind of talked me into streaming live too last night. Reminded me that some people do like to just see a little bit of how the sausage is made behind the scenes, and even if it is raw, unedited, and stuff like that. To me, a lot of this is mundane and just I've been doing it for a long time and don't realize that I guess it might be kind of interesting for some. The Pickle Club. Israel, I'll tell you, anyone that ever gets one of your cabs, Joel, be very happy that it's all I have to say. Well built, brother. Thank you, Israel. Hoping everybody likes them and enjoys them. As long as I can get them to them in a timely manner before they get impatient, and really wouldn't blame them. I was telling producer last night, I'm surprised I haven't got anybody like messaging me, where's my cab, or wanting a refund or something. We've had no refund requests on cabs or anything, so it's kind of nice so far. But if it gets too much further, I'm sure we'll get there. I don't want to get there, so. Unfortunately, we got the holidays coming up too. Got to do some traveling, spend time with the family. So I only got about a week to get as much done as I possibly can here before we have another week and a half where nothing's going to get done. There we go. Slow and steady wins the race, guys. Bubble free. There's our logo. So that's what, step 2, 3? I don't know. Let's track. We're going to throw it back on a jig. Cut our window out so you can actually see the game that you're playing, and drill the holes that mount it all up to the bezel. Do you think you'll ever do punch out? It doesn't have to be 2-screen. Oh, for sure. I mean, if it doesn't have to be 2-screen, I've been doing some semi-custom requests. So if you want a punch out, just reach out to me. I've had a few people talk about doing a punch out. I don't think I've had actually anybody decide to do it. I've got a few different custom requests that, when I say custom, I mean they're not custom complete, different shape builds and stuff. It's just, I mean, punch out's super easy because that's basically black, um, the black cab, Nintendo cab, the Play Choice, just without the Play Choice logos, and we wouldn't put the Intech deck on it. I haven't done a deck for it, a deck design, but we could. I got a few custom decks still that I in the works that I got to do for a few people. Fortunately, like the DK and Nintendo versus, no, not versus, but DK Junior, and what you call it, Popeye have all been the same button layout and everything. So that's just been a copy paste job for the most part. I got a couple different custom colors we're doing. We're going to do a green one for somebody, that for a Dr. Mario. We're doing a gold one. That's going to be kind of neat for Zelda. What else? A couple different custom ones. So, and they're not really custom, like I said, they're just different colors. And I'm perfectly willing to. I already have the deck designed out. For the most part, most of those are just moving the button locations around in the CAD program or on the design file, which is kind of simple. The Intech ones and stuff are a little bit more tricky. Like Israel's was a bit more tricky because I had to transfer a bunch of the dimensions and stuff from the Intech guts and stuff, and then there was a lot of little trial and error fitting it up. I think I had to cut like 6 versions of that deck for him before I got it right, just to get the guts behind it to match up. So there's all these different plastic mounts and stuff that holds all their components. It's more than just your standard deck that's a stick and buttons coming out of the bottom. Punch out, that would be an easy, just sticks and buttons or whatnot, and a mount for your encoder board and all that I already have. So it's just a matter of around to match up with the layout of whatever punch out is. And then I'm sure Stickersmith probably already has artwork for the sides and marquee for it. So we could easily do a punch out. If you don't see the options on my website, reach out to me and I'll either add them or instruct you on how to get it ordered. But usually if I know your name and stuff, I see the order come through, I know what it is you're wanting because we've talked about it already. I just add the notes and make the changes on my end in the build file. So for my build log, when I get to it, I remember. I don't have the best memory anymore. Like I said, my mom texted me earlier today reminding me that it was producer's birthday. So I think that tells you a little something. Mom, me looking out for you, making sure you remember your wife's birthday. I did, though. I did. Nice, though, that she felt the need to let me know because my whole family and Kara have a group chat, and a bunch of them were already asking her, or wishing her a happy birthday earlier today. So if I had forgotten, I would have woken up and remembered anyways to a bunch of happy birthday wishes to her in the group text. It's okay. Mom's just looking out for me. That's what moms do. Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, Punch Out. I thought it'd be cool to do the dual monitor if we could, but that'd be a little ways down the road and be changes to the design file of a lot of things, stretching out the cab dimensions and stuff. So I don't know. And I don't know if does RetroArch and stuff like that support that game in dual monitor mode or not? I don't know. I would guess it probably does, but that would be down the road. I want to get caught up here with my orders and get Robotron going because get some of these other builds and things that I have planned, cabs offered. Give you guys some options, plus it's more fun for me. I have a hard time with attention and follow through and stuff like that. So after a while, I start to get a little bored of I enjoy setting this stuff up, designing the stuff, and for the first little while, building them over and over again. But then I start to get a little bored of the same thing over and over again. So changing it up a little bit here and there always keeps my attention and interest a little bit better. Get the huge excitement bulk runs and stuff like that out of the way. We're getting 30, 40 orders of cabs coming in at once. Get to the point where, I just keep them up regularly on my website, and as people want them, they place an order for one or two, or switching it up here and there will be kind of nice, I think. And to have components on hand and stockpiled, so I'm not having to build them as I make them and everything too. Right now we're kind of running on the fumes or whatever of just trying to get stuff out the door. What do we got? Somebody that's making it a punch out. You might be right there, Stock Jack, because I do have somebody that ordered just an all black one. Like I said, I remember just people talking about it, and maybe it was. I try, guys, to remember you guys and stuff when I'm talking to 40 different people for cab orders, and then I got hundreds of riser orders coming in throughout the year, and a lot of people reaching out to me to confirm what they're gonna fit and stuff. I used to have like a really good memory, but all it's just tough with all of it. I feel a little bad. Sometimes I forget who's what. I've been trying to take good notes and stuff, follow up with people when I have to. Sometimes people reach out to me and I gotta look them up, figure out, wait a minute, what were we talking about? Who is that? But I think you might be right. Somebody might be doing a punch out. You have an all black cab that I just put the skin on. I gotta put the edge banding on later this week. What is today? What the heck is today? Monday? I I can't even remember what day it is anymore. Well, that's what happens when you work for yourself and don't have any set schedule and stuff of you're just doing stuff. On Monday, yeah, I got a whole week ahead of me, so yeah. Edge banding at some point, the all black cab. He was one of the ones that ordered just a shell, so he didn't want. He's doing a lot of it himself, so that might be. And I think he's pretty active in the community too, if I remember correctly. He watches a lot of people's shows and stuff, so Doc Jock is aware that somebody might be doing it. It's probably correct because he's probably mentioned it in some of the chats. Come on, darling. We're not even quite through halfway through all the pre first run pre-orders. I don't like it. And I know, I've thought about it too. Why not hire some help? But problem is, I don't want to hire somebody, especially, hire somebody just to let them go. I don't know how long this is going to keep up. If it keeps up for like the next year and I'm getting far behind, then for sure. But, we're just getting started. So, not to mention, I can't exactly afford to hire somebody right now, given that the CNC, I hired somebody with the new CNC basically. That's where all the profits went for the first run, basically, is to get the new CNC going to be able to fulfill these orders after my main CNC died. No, why? Dang it. Another bad one. I don't think I got that one feeding through there straight. But this is still less screw ups than I have trying to lay them up by hand with water and stuff like I was prior to this. So, still encouraged by this process. Next hold-up, hang-up that I have is the print shop. Not really bugging them too much because I haven't quite needed it because I have plenty of other things that I've been needing to do, but we're going on a long time. They don't have my Play Choice artwork. I decided to switch over to them to have them print it, save me time. I was kind of printing them here at home in sections and seaming and trimming them together. But their quality is a bit better and stuff, so I decided to switch over to them. But I had the files over there with them for a while now, a month or two. And they were supposed to be working on them. I mean, they were going to have them done before I went out of town for vacation, but I told them I was going on vacation. It wasn't that big of a rush. I was going to be gone for 10 days and just have them done. Well, I got back home, and a few days in, I reached out to them, and they hadn't even started them yet. So, I don't know. All right, where are we at here? We got 1, 2, 3. 3 more of these before we get on to the next step. Anybody still? Oh, wow. 9 people now. Oh, we're getting there. What I really wanted to talk to you guys about today is, did you guys hear Arcade 1-Up might be going out of business or might not? I think that's what you're all here to talk about. You guys haven't heard much of that yet, have you? Nobody's talking about it. Every day you wake up, it's a different story. Going out of business or not going out of business. I think today we're in the today's schedule is they're not going out of business and possibly being bought, right? We're back to where we started in the beginning. It's one reason I don't like being news and speculation and stuff because stuff always changes. And everybody seems to be quick to, oh, you were wrong. Or to gloat, I was right. See, I told you. And it all is just guesses. All right. There we go. We got 3 more. 3 more, and we got people dropping off. One guy was here for the 1-Up discussion, I guess. I just hadn't had a chance to watch it. What was the gist of it? Does that put a hamper on them even being sold because of does that pause things as far as acquisitions go? I don't know how any of that works if a lawsuit gets put in place. What is the lawsuit anyways? Is it more similar to like the Atari where there's licensing that's gone unpaid, or they violate some sort of licensing and put something out that wasn't licensed? I doubt that's the case. I would assume it was more of the similar to maybe like the Atari case of something going unpaid. The use of the words head to head, Coleco has. Seriously? You didn't trademark the words head to head, eh? I don't know. That seems like a stretch. I can't believe they allow stuff like that. Could understand like registering it as like a trademark or something like that, as far as like a design or logo goes, but the wording itself, I don't know. It seems, especially because it seems like it's a kind of a universal term that's been used for quite some time. I guess Coleco has been around for quite some time. I'm not sure why they waited until now to file that lawsuit, because how long have their head-to-head tables been around? Seems like they've been around and using that term for a couple years now. Coleco's just realizing that they had something like that just now. No sense since head to head was relating to their electronic games. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's not like they were in the arcade category even. They had small countertop electronic games. It does seem strange and seems a little late as well, but can't help but think of you, Israel, when I'm working on stuff, on my vinyl and stuff like that, because I got a pizza cutter type knife here that I use a lot. I know you said that you work in a Italian restaurant, pizza shop type thing or something. So I always think when I'm cutting these, about cutting pizza, I think about my buddy Israel. Yeah. All right. Two more. As long as this has been taken, so much faster, guys. You wouldn't believe how much I've been kind of putting off building monitors because of the pain that just laminating. You guys know. How many of you have put bezel art on top of a one-up screen when building your own cab or doing custom stuff? Or in Stock Jock's case, making and putting together a G.I. Joe cab for his DK. Such a pain. The bubbles and lining it all up. I'd love to see behind the scenes video of like buy stuff guys, how they do some of this stuff. That's the stuff that I enjoy watching and that intrigues me. Watching how other guys make and build this stuff, how it's made. They're probably smarter though by not showing it, because then they're not giving away their trade secrets. I guess at the end of the day, if you guys want to do this, have at it. I know when I first was launching the Buildacade, there was lots of, not lots, but a few handful of people that were like, I could build that so much cheaper. A couple $100. Well, do it. I welcome anybody to do that. If I could find somebody that would work for free with good craftsmanship, they're more than welcome to come here and build cabinets for me. And I'll reduce the cost. But I got bills to pay, and as you can see, for as long as we've been streaming for an hour now, I haven't completed a single monitor yet, but thing is they'll start to come together, and that's where it pays off in the end. But it's still a process. It takes time. You got bills to pay, CNCs to pay for. But I didn't necessarily have to buy the CNC, I suppose, right? I could have been building them with a jigsaw and cutting them out by hand. Except we'd still be on like cab number 2. Everybody got their Christmas decorations up? We were just doing that last night. We were debating almost not doing it too. We're never here. And as you guys have gathered, I live out, it's not a joke, I do live out in the middle of nowhere. So we don't get a whole lot of company ever. And we're always traveling for the holidays. We usually spend Christmas at my parents' over on the east side of the state. And we were really debating this year putting up Christmas decorations just because so busy, and in some ways we were kind of like, well, what's the point? And even like we didn't express those feelings in front of the kids, but when we did mention to Jojo we were going to put up Christmas tree and Christmas decorations, he asked why. We're like, what do you mean? He's like, well, we're not going to be here. We're going to be at Gone Bumpus, and that's where Santa comes. So why even put up a Christmas tree? And kind of like, well, even the kids aren't really too into it. Kind of glad we put some stuff up, though. We put up some stuff last night before I went on 19K's show, and a little bit after. Helps bring a little bit more of the spirit and stuff of the holidays into the house and makes it a little bit more exciting. All right, we got it, guys. Oh yeah, the snowflakes, yeah. That's a nice little fun touch. Are you guys seeing Cal? See, I told you, you guys been watching the streams. He's always by my side. And he doesn't lay down either. Like, follows me around. It's one reason why I leave him in the house sometimes, because I feel bad, because he's got to keep me in his sights and follow me around and keep an eye on me and make sure I'm okay. And he's not a young pup anymore. Neither of us are. He's 11, aren't you? He hasn't shown his age up until just kind of this year. He's been slowing down a little bit, tripping a little bit, going up the stairs and stuff. He's still running around, bounding around everywhere. Alright, let's see here. Nope, 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 nope. Don't need that yet. I need is my jigs. So, we got these guys now. These are my jigs for drilling my holes. Mount these to the screens and for cutting out my windows. Oh, what we need to do here now is what do I need to do? Trying to remember the process here now. This one is my, wait, that's vertical. Do a vertical first. They got one of each going out, but let's see. That's horizontal. Horizontal. Vertical. Here we go. Trying to remember how this works now, guys. I'll line this up. Get my spacing right. Then we got, yep, that's right. Then we got this guy. Goes on here. We flip this over. My drill. I have some tools in here too that I need. Very high-tech, sophisticated tools. Nails. Use this, keep it from slipping around. Where are we at? Okay, so we don't drill that one out. We drill all the rest of them out. So this is all lined up. Put these in to keep it from getting out of whack. Or at least try, not get it out of whack. Keep everything lined up. It don't always work though. Such is life. All right, now for the tricky part. The doctor is in. Well, not all of you will have your cabs by Christmas probably, but at least you can see how some of the parts are being made, and did I do that right? I think so. Find out here in a minute. And know that progress is being made. Your cabs are coming eventually, not just sitting on a beach with your money. Trying. I said I grossly underestimated the amount of time some of this stuff would have taken. In your minds, guys, don't you think putting together a monitor would be relatively quick, right? What happens when you're doing this stuff for the first time, and some of it was all just coming together last minute in a lot of ways. Wanted to, needed to, dang it, why is this vinyl being like that? Need to start working and making some money, doing my part to contribute. Stock Jock was bugging me. Community was starting to bug me about getting these, so I honestly hadn't completely built a full monitor like that, like to make it nice. See, a lot of the things everybody says I've got a lot of attention to detail. That's mostly I do that because kind of raised you do something, you do it right, but especially for others. Like for me, I'm willing to compromise and stuff like that and look past some things. Some things really will bother me, but certain things that I'm willing to cut corners on for myself, but I don't, I see it and I'm willing to look past it. But then when I do something for somebody else, I feel like they'll see it too. And I don't want them to have that opinion in their head of me that I cut a corner or something like that. I want to make sure that my best work is represented to everyone. And there's sometimes things that I know people won't notice, most likely, but it still bothers the crap out of me, and I have to redo it. Some things that are perfectly acceptable if it wasn't sitting side by side with something else, like another one. It still will work and still function and it looks fine, but it to me, I know it's not the same as the other one, and as a lot of the other ones, like doesn't have that mass production. So it bothers me in my head. I gotta fix it and send it out like all the others, even though that person probably won't ever notice because they'll never see it alongside another one and know that it does, or alongside a few of them and know that it's different, or probably not even care because it's stupid stuff too a lot of the time. But for me, I don't know. I'm a weirdo. This is becoming a pain. I don't know what's going on here, guys. This vinyl should just peel off, but it's like breaking rather than stretching and peeling. This is what we deal with sometimes. Go! Come on. I mean, this should just peel off. I don't know if it's temperature. Worst part is once we get this off, it's going to leave all kinds of little smudges in these areas where I really had to work it up. So we're going to have to do a real thorough cleaning on it now, too. Come on. Should have been like a 10-second process. Yet. What's wrong, Cal? You want to go inside? Tired of this? See, I'm going to be okay. Want to go inside? He thinks he wants to go inside, but he only wants to go inside if I go inside. I'm opening the door. He's going in. He sees I'm not coming in. Turns around. And we're back, guys. Oh, he wants to go inside. Only if I'm going inside. Same thing with going to bed. He wants to go to bed. Only if I'm going to bed. All right. Let's check this out. Move that for a second. I got a vertical here. See how we did. I think that's going to do. We got to clean everything up first. Lost my paper, or I ran out of paper towels. Be right back. Steal some from producer's kitchen. Ready? Come on. Nobody tell her. Not that I'd get in too much trouble. It would be more that she would want me to work up receipts and expense it and stuff like that, probably. She's big into that stuff, numbers and finances, money, all that adult stuff. That ain't me. That ain't my style. Just order it, build it, make it. Hope that the money's there. Try to get these as clean as possible. So you guys don't get them and have dust or a cow hair under there. He can't help it though, right? It's just part of the job. You gotta accept it, guys. Comes along with security, the role of foreman and security. Watches my back while I'm working. And make sure I'm doing a good job. There we go. That one's pretty clean. Now I got to get all this stupid crud off of this from where I had to pick at the edges. I'm sure this is gonna get it. Gotta use a little Goo Gone. So, you guys liked the stream last night? What do you think? Different cab builds and stuff. What anything pique your interests that we talked about possibly building in the future? I don't really want to ask what you want to see in the future, but feel free to shout out some of this stuff if there was something that wasn't mentioned, I guess. If it's interesting enough for me, it might jump ahead in the line. But trying to, like I mentioned to Fox last night, weigh out, what would be. I don't want to repeat stuff that is readily available out there for people that they can mod and make and that One-Up's doing and Basic Fun. In fact, I was kind of thinking about doing a Star Wars trilogy, but I think somebody just mentioned about possibly doing it. I don't know. I know Buy Stuff's been working on, they have it on their box, on their PC. I thought I heard them talking about possibly building a stand or a cab to go along with it. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but I thought I heard somebody talking about it. That one was kind of on my short list, but I don't want to step on other people's toes, and we don't need two people working on the same thing. In fact, I already had the Nintendo in the works when Glenn announced his FU cab and the panels and stuff to add it on to make it look like the Nintendo. Otherwise, I don't know, I may have shied away from the Nintendo for a little while too. I know they are different though. So there is that. His is, a super multicade. Mine's more just a small replica-ish of the Nintendo, so I don't want to copy what's out there, offer you guys something, but I don't want it to be just, one-off stuff either. That it's got to have a little bit of popularity to it too. That it's kind of worth my time, at least up front. Initially, I need some of these bigger runs and bigger orders to make sure I keep things going at first. As we start getting a good variety and inventory and options for people to be ordering, I could probably spend a little bit more time on some of the less popular cabs that aren't out there. Anybody still there? 9. Got 9 in the house. And Cornercade popped in. How's it going, Danny? Let's see. What have I been missing? Done with your Q-Bert? Yeah, I wish. I'm still trying to get done with your Popeye. You should be more worried about that, little alien. But again, I do appreciate the patience. Where's the hole? I don't know about you guys. I always have a hard time finding the hole. There it is. All right. Oh, See, sorry, Cal. Bumping into you. Got our magic black screws. Put them down here. Screw them down nice and tight over top of the protective film because I know everybody loves. What's going on here? Did I not drill these out with a big enough drill bit? Kinda tight in the hole. Where that is a little small. Where what happened here? Is it this one? Ah, dang it. I don't know what this bit was in there for. Apparently we needed this one in there. Dang it. Little setbacks, not paying attention. Burnt Orange, how's it going? Donkey Kong? Trying. Let's see, Donkey Kong. Oh, and Play Choice, okay. I know who you are. You were, that's second run stuff, Black Friday sale, right? You were my first sale on Black Friday. Right as soon as we opened it up, I was quite shocked. We were at my wife's grandma's for Thanksgiving and couldn't help but tell my wife, it's like, look at, we got a quick order, and it was 2. It's pretty exciting. So thanks for that. Try to get to it as soon as I can, but that pre-order or Black Fridays unfortunately won't be until at least the first of the year, but I'm probably gonna have to say at least February is when I'll probably be getting to the, especially with the rate that things have been going with the first runs. Like I said, I'm still about to get halfway through the first runs. And I don't have much time left before the first of the year. I do have a lot of parts and stuff stacked up. What's going on here? And ready to go. So things should be moving a lot quicker. Like a couple months just to get the first, 5 or so out. Just with all the little back and forth of finding out, shipping, busted up parts and stuff like that when they'd arrive and make changes to the shipping boxes and stuff. And then, a component or something not working right. I've been hand making the instructions. When I'm printing them, I probably should just put a QR code in or something so that I know some of you guys are old school though. I had one guy reach out to me during the pre-order first runs and want to place an order, but he had just gotten a smartphone or something, he said, that month. So I don't know. I like having some print instructions physically in front of me sometimes. Because I don't usually follow instructions by the T. You guys should, though. Follow the instructions. But where was I going? Hand making the instructions because, we were people were giving me feedback too of, hey, how do I do this? Or, hey, this doesn't make sense. Or, did I do this right? It's like, oh, I forgot to mention that in the instructions. So I haven't had them bulk printed up yet just because they're still a work in progress. Everything is kind of a little bit of a work in progress. We've been making adjustments here and there. So it's been a lot slower than I thought. I said on 19K Fox's stream last night, it really didn't take that long to get the first one built in my garage for myself. Like, it came together quick. So I was kind of judging a lot of that off of that. But to build one in my shop for me on the CNC, and it was quick and everything. And there was a lot of stuff I didn't have to deal with, I guess, that I hadn't considered. The shipping aspect, and like I said, I used 1UP monitors in my build and stuff, so a lot of the stuff was just kind of taking guesses on how long it would take me to build a monitor or put the guts in an Intech deck. What's going on with this screw? A little crooked on that one. It's just taking longer than I thought. And then with the tariffs, let me tell you, that's the big thing, the tariffs, guys. That's what's been causing all the delays for me. That's right, Marine 50. He's my boy. He's my oldest, my firstborn. Producer and I got him a little over 11 years ago when we moved. I was doing a lot of traveling at the time for my job too, so we moved out here in the middle of nowhere. She was willing to. My wife's very social, so her being willing to move out here to my dream house, be away from everybody else, was nice. But I didn't want her to be alone while I was traveling and stuff, so. And we were wanting to have kids, so we thought dog would be a nice trial run at it. See if that was really something we wanted to do. So we got Cal, right? He's turned into my buddy. He never leaves my side unless we're at Grandma's house. And that's the one person that he loves a little more than me, I think, is my mom. I don't know, it may just be because he gets to sleep in bed with her, and rather than being crammed in the guest bed with my whole family. But he does love my mom quite a bit. He never leaves my side. He rarely lays down either. He'll during the summertime lay down in the in the driveway a lot and watch the driveway out at the road. Make sure nobody's sneaking up on me. He watches my back and I watch his. He has to go outside and go potty. I usually go out on the deck, keep an eye on it, make sure nobody's sneaking up behind him when he's trying to poop, right? You live out in the woods, you gotta watch out for those wolf people that live in the woods. Can we get that in the camera here? There she is, guys. A vertical monitor. Doesn't look all that great because it's got that fun protective film on it for you guys to peel off. I know you guys love peeling that off underneath your 1UP screws and stuff, so I leave that on for you. This is Gen 1 monitors. I got a plan to do a double bezel to recess the monitor down and kind of have it tapered and rounded on the edges for Robotron, and maybe for most of the cabs moving forward once I get it finished, designed up, and made, just to give it some depth and make it look a little bit more like a CRT. So plans for that, but we got one done. We got one done, cowboy. Pick up some of this mess over here. Alright. We got a vertical done. What else? Just dropped my mic. I think it was a great stream last night. You certainly piqued his interest. I really think he didn't want to stream. No, I don't think he did. We were having a good time. He was, before the show, he was only planning on doing it in an hour because he wanted to watch the Cowboys. Did they end up losing? I didn't watch it till the end. I turned it on after I got done chatting with him a bit and was watching it, but tried to get to bed a little early and stuff. So we were getting ready for bed, weren't we, Cal? I didn't see whether or not they were losing at the time. But he really wanted to see the Cowboys. But we even chatted for a little while backstage after the stream ended, and I kept telling him, you want to go see your game, that's fine. He felt bad too because right before the stream was starting, producer came in and asked how long the show was going to go because she was wanting to decide whether or not to keep the boys up or put them to bed. She was going to keep them up so I could tell them goodnight and stuff. And Fox said it was only be about an hour. So she's like, all right, I'll keep the boys up. And Fox was like, definitely want to make sure you have family time. And it wasn't that big of a deal, but he felt really bad at the end when we got off stream. He was like, I'm sorry I kept you, and family's important and kids and stuff. But it was all good. It was a good stream. It was fun. I enjoyed it. Like to do more of that kind of stuff of just not talking news and stuff like that, but talking cabs and building and tools. A little bit more tools too, I think. That's one of my, what am I doing? Cut vinyl this side up. Okay. One of my other passions and obsessions is tools. It's one of the reasons why I was able to kind of jump into this as quickly as I was because after 13 years working at the job I was at, I was constantly acquiring tools, buying them here and there. I'd buy tools that I wouldn't even have a use for. I just liked them. I always have a theory that it's always best to have the right tool for the right job, and living out the luxury of quickly running to a store or something to buy a tool when you need it. So I use that as an excuse to should have the tool on hand. So I had a lot of stuff, tools that I've never used before and things piling up around here. But there was, of course, lots of other tools that I had still to complete the jobs. But I'd like to talk more tools, show you guys some of the tools that I use and come across. Some of the tools I've had to make in order to make some of this stuff work. Surprisingly, there's not a ton of arcade cabinet specific tools out there and available and ready to go. What did I do with... Did you take them? What did I do with those nails? Huh? Put them down here? No. You guys see what I did with those nails? They all slowly roll off of the table when I wasn't looking. I don't see them. Oh. Still in this jig. yeah, let's do it. Stock Jock. I was kind of thinking, as I was talking with Fox last night after the stream a little bit about the idea of doing some sort of a show or whatever. Even just talking about doing more content. I was telling him, part of the problem I have with doing content is just taking the time, having the time to do the editing and stuff, and kind of mentioned the fact about doing, a lot of the people he watches, like it's either live or like one of the things he was mentioning was one of the guys he watches just records everything throughout the week and then does a commentary at the end of the week talking about it. That was kind of cool, but still seemed like too much work for me. So I was almost thinking, what about doing the show kind of at the end of the week? Where we talk about tools and future arcade designs and cabs and things that we want to see and what goes into making them, but also that I can almost like a this week show like Fox does, but kind of talk about what happened this week in the shop, struggles, issues I had, fun story. I don't know if there's any fun stories that ever happen or come out of here, but update on what I worked on, prototypes or something that I was trying to build or orders. Running it at the end of the week to be able to do those kind of updates. Have that content to talk about. Maybe showcase other modders and builders. Not just in the arcade community, but there's a lot of people I watch that do woodworking and just makers and stuff like that that build and work on cool stuff. Maybe I'll check the chat. Right. Yeah. Hello? Test, test. You hear me now? It might have been my neck was covering the mic, possibly. It looks like it's working now. Plus, I wasn't talking too much. So a little frustrated and focusing and didn't have anything to say. I'm gonna wrap it up. They said I gotta go to wrestling practice with the boys. Gotta run in and feed Cal real quick, get him his dinner before I run out the door. Change. Practice starts at 5:30. Is it 5:30? Yeah, 5:30. But it's only like 5 minutes down the road. And we gotta wait for the high schoolers to finish up, and they're always running late. What are you grumbling about? I always seem to just start getting going, and then I gotta stop for something. All right. Last one. We gotta head out. Work all the dust off, all the cowboy hairs, all the G.I. Joe hairs. You guys don't want any beard hair on there, do ya? The hard part's about doing some of this stuff in a wood shop. It's dusty. Some people that have gotten my risers from me, you can attest to that. Even those show up dusty. These cabs show up a little bit. Come down, clean them up the best I can, but they're as quickly as possible to you guys as well. The last one too, I think, because come on. I didn't have a pin in it. I just didn't see this one, I guess. I remember thinking I only short Guess I was 2 nails short. There. Mic. Test, test, test. Gone again. Looks like it's back now, but I don't know what's going on with it. Can you hear me now? Back. All right, cool. Well, I'm gonna sign off, guys. I gotta run. Thanks for hanging out with me. Try to do this again soon. Probably maybe not tomorrow unless I get some time and I can talk after the dentist. We'll see, but anyways, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to get the mic situated and figured out. I think turn it down a little bit here might help. Less crackling. But once the battery's charged up too, we'll see. Anyways, thanks again, guys, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. See you guys. Maybe if I can figure out how to even end this.